Hello everyone. I've had a few questions with regards to this Core 3 exam report. And based on our timing and how we're kind of crunched for time, I've simplified our experiment down. And so I just kind of wanted to go through all of the things that we have. So first things first, our Core 3 exam report, let's go ahead and open it up. And here we go. So this is the data that we are going to be collecting from the Warming Hearts. Everybody's expected to do a total of 6 observations. So that's 2 with no drink, 2 with a cold drink, and 2 with a hot drink. I'll explain that more in just a second. So I've simplified this. Instead of having everybody do a bunch of tests, your group is going to perform a single 2-sample hypothesis test comparing one of the following groups. You can compare men to women, you can compare hot to cold, you can compare hot to room temperature, and finally you can compare cold to room temperature. You can select which piece of numerical data, so there's a couple of questions that are being asked where we gather numerical data. You get to pick which one that you use. You also get to pick like your alpha level, and you get to pick your hypothesis. So you get to set up like this entire thing. So there's a lot of options, but you're going to provide one clear hypothesis test. You're also going to provide like an introduction of the scenario and why is it interesting, explain what you want to measure and observe, describe how you gathered the data, and then finally we're going to report the results of the analysis. And you're going to be sure that you demonstrate that all the requirements are met, so things like does it follow central limit theorem, is it big enough sample size, are we going to do equal variances, unequal variances, the whole shebang. And then you are going to write a conclusion that contains a confidence interval and its interpretation. And then after you conclude, after your conclusion, you're going to include a small interpretation or impact of what your results mean. Okay, so let's look at what this submission requirements. First thing, you're going to do a 5-minute review, like podcast thing like we've been doing, that gathers the essence of these. You're going to talk me through your results. Then you're going to have a written conclusion in a formal paragraph or two, and you're going to use the whole things like, we have collected sufficient evidence, and give your evidence that you're going to provide, and your confidence interval, like we are 95% confident. I want you actually to practice writing that out, and then whatever software analysis that you did, you're going to attach it here. So whether that's from an Excel, or if it's from Jamovi, or if it's from some other software, you have to supply me your software analysis of the results of the findings. Okay, so here are the criteria for how I'm going to grade. It's the same criteria that I've used on other ones as well. Okay, so that's kind of the requirements. Here's how we do the study. So several years ago, Yale did something similar to this, where like the difference between holding a hot cup of coffee influenced on how you judged others. So here's what we're going to do to see whether thinking a picture of like a non-remarkable person is generally a warmer or colder person. So here I say that the first 3, you can do 3, but you're only required to do 2. So it says just give them the picture to look at and then give them the survey. For the second 3, have an ice drink like in a paper cup or in like a thin plastic cup that they can feel it in. Like the thermos cups like don't work really well, so don't use one of those. You have to be able to feel the temperature of the drink through the cup. Then you take the cup away and you give them the survey, and the third exactly the same, but make sure you have a hot drink instead of a paper cup. So typically how people have done this successfully is like you kind of pretend that you have your hands full when you ask somebody to do your survey, and then say, hey, can you just hold my drink real quick? You let them hold it while you get things ready. You hand them the survey, and then you take the drink back. That's all that you have to do. And then remember that we're only administering to 18 plus individuals. In order to get to this study, you just click this link right here. Click it, and it's going to take you to the study, and you go ahead and you fill it out, and you then submit it. It has 3 pages. You have to get through all 3. So these first ones have like gender and that you're over the age of 18. And then here's the picture that you want them to look at. Here are the 4 questions that they're going to ask. And then you're going to put your name here so that you get credit for gathering data. And then the type of drink that you gave them, no drink, hot drink, or a cold drink. Okay, so you can get this from anybody. You can do friends, people at sororities, you can do random strangers. I don't care who you ask. You just have to go ahead and get 6 pieces of data, and it needs to be collected here because everybody's going to add to these. If you click the data link here, we click on the data link, it opens up this, and everybody's data needs to be collected by, let's see, Friday today. Now, it doesn't look like there's data in here. There really is. You have to scroll down. And what I need to do is I'm going to take all of these responses. I have to format them just a little bit, but I will post up the official Excel file on Friday. So you have until Friday to finish up your responses, and then I will I'll post up the Excel file so that you all can use it. Once you have the Excel file, it shouldn't take you too long to be able to go through, do your analyses, write up a quick conclusion, and then do the podcast with everybody. Anyhow, that's a little bit of explanation of how to get through this. If you have any other questions, feel free to email me, and I'll talk to you guys later.